Welcome back to the Get Well with Me podcast. I am your host and your hypnotist, Adrianne Hart, and together we explore the healing powers of our subconscious mind while leaning in towards a healthier lifestyle. And our philosophy here is excellence, not perfection. Why do I say that? Why do I say excellence, not perfection? Because the idea of being perfect is the number one thing that holds us back. So sometimes you got to just go live and see what happens. But today I want to share with you about the idea of hypnosis as mind control, right? So I grew up watching soap operas, might still be my guilty pleasure. And hypnosis is a thing there. And it's definitely mind control. It's all about setting up a trigger so that a person will take an action that they wouldn't take of their own volition. And I'm here to tell you that that is not how hypnosis really works. I know that there are programs and things out there that may manipulate people's minds, but hypnosis from a therapeutic point of view is it's you controlling your own mind. So yes, hypnosis is mind control. It is you controlling your own mind. It's helping you to follow through with those things that you say that you want to do. It's essentially installing suggestions into your brilliant unconscious mind that you will feel compelled, more likely, or just that it's natural and normal to do those things. So when we talk about the idea of mental rehearsal, that's the reason that people who play golf or professional athletes will often have a hypnotist because they can rehearse in their mind a best case scenario, a worst case scenario, how they might respond. And when that time comes, they're able to help that to show up in their material world. So things, when we think about the mind as being the first cause, right? If someone has an idea, that's how that's how things get put into action is we think about it first in our own mind. And when we're making suggestions to our brilliant unconscious minds, we can be sure that our brilliant unconscious minds, as long as all the parts are congruent and the unconscious mind believes that this is safe for us, it is more than willing to oblige. As a matter of fact, you, the conscious mind, the person that I'm talking to right now who's watching this or listening to this, you are the boss of your unconscious mind. So you get to tell it what to do. And when that impression is made successfully, then the results are inevitable. So yesterday in Wellness Wednesday, which is my group sessions every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I just had 158 weeks in a row of Wellness Wednesday. And I love the attendees of Wellness Wednesday, the members. They show up because they know that hypnosis is mind control. It is them essentially controlling their own minds. That's why they show up to intentionally impress their minds with wellness, with doing the things that make them feel proud of themselves, with prioritizing deep sleep, prioritizing hydration, moving their bodies. Now, not one person in the group is perfect, but they're all perfect in the sense that they understand the power of their mind and they're using their mind to have their best life. And if you're using your mind to have your best life, how is that going to show up in your body? How is that going to show up in your relationships? How is that going to show up in your finances? When you believe that abundance is flowing to you and that what you desire is already on its way to you, how is your life going to change when you become magnetized to the things that are good for you, to the people who are good for you? These are things that start in the mind. When you look at a person and they seem to have health and happiness and abundance, it's because it began in their mind. People, it does seem like people stumble upon the life that they have, and in some ways, maybe that is true. But essentially, we set an intention and then we magnify it with our attention because attention outweighs intention every time. Because where you put your attention, that's where you are. right? What you dwell on is where you live. So it's super important to be impressing your own mind. And showing up to Wellness Wednesday with an intention for wellness is a really fun, it's a fun way to do that, but also it has like this effervescence of a group, right? It's just like when you go and see a concert, that vibe of being there with other people or hearing like all of those people sing along or just realizing that everyone is having their own experience in the same space, that they're all being affected by that music. It is so much more powerful than just like watching it on TV, right? So the group effect is absolutely powerful. That's why Wellness Wednesday is amazing. That's why I don't even know why it's only $47 a month. But if you want to, go to my website, click on Wellness Wednesday, get the free month trial, and show up, even if it's just like a couple times, see what it's all about. Okay, side note. Um, Hypnosis is mind control. It is you controlling your own mind. So, yesterday we read a poem. Let me see. I have it. I had someone in the group read this poem. It's by Margaret E. White. I don't know who Margaret E. White is, but I love this poem because it has a lot of truth in it. So, as I read this to you, allow it to impress your brilliant unconscious mind with how hypnosis is mind control and it's you controlling your own mind. Okay, here's the poem. I ask no questions. I accept whatever you give me. I do whatever I am told to do. I do not presume to change anything you think, say, or do. I file it away in perfect order, quickly and efficiently, and then I return it to you exactly as you gave it to me. I am the reservoir into which you toss anything your heart or mind chooses to deposit there. I work night and day. I never rest, and nothing can impede my activity. The thoughts you send to me are categorized and filed, and my filing system never fails. I am truly your servant who does your bidding without hesitation or criticism. I cooperate when you tell me that you are this or that, and I play it back as you give it. I am most agreeable. Since I do not think, argue, judge, analyze, question, or make decisions, I accept impressions easily. I'm going to ask you to sort out what you send me. However, my files are getting a little cluttered and confused. I mean, please disregard those things that you do not want returned to you. What is my name? Oh, I thought you knew. I am your subconscious. That is what the subconscious does. Um, That's what the subconscious does. It gives us back what we put in and what we expose ourselves to. So, being a good steward of our minds is of utmost importance. That means the content that we choose to consume or the amount of time that we spend on certain things, if we're leveraging the hypnagogic state as we go to bed at night to impress our minds with those messages that are going to help us to be more relaxed, more productive, more responsible, right? Like whatever it is that we need and want to be that is going to allow us to have the very best life, it's not someone else's responsibility. Just like your health is not your doctor's responsibility, it's yours. If you want to know something about your body, that's your quest. If you want to take care of your body, that is your quest. Because at the end of the day, that doctor is going to go home and they need to take care of their life and their body, and they're never going to care as much about you as you care about you. And I know that that's not a truth that a lot of people like to swallow because it does feel good when we can outsource something. That means it's not our responsibility anymore. But your health is your responsibility. Your mental health is your responsibility if you're an adult. Okay. So if you're an adult, that's the only disclosure. Other than that, you can't get off the hook, right? It's your life, it's your experience, it's your words that you speak, it's your thoughts that you say, think. It's you that is responsible for what you have. There will be no victim mentality because there was a time that maybe perhaps in the past you were a victim, but at this moment, and in if you're listening to this right now, it is you who is responsible for you. It is me who is responsible for me. So, um, Yeah, I hope that doesn't sound too harsh because it's really meant to be super empowering. Because when you understand that it is your job to impress your own mind so that you can have the outcome that you truly desire, then what can stop you? I mean, nothing, right? If you make a decision that you are going to do something or you're going to be something or you're going to just be and be okay, to be okay, right? With like just being. That should be a goal of all of ours because I am not perfect. And there are plenty of times where like I am not okay. I am not okay with just being, right? And there are plenty of times where I'm not making the right choices for my health. But at the end of the day, I know it is my responsibility. So we can look at our life, and if we feel like we're blocked in a certain way or we're having a certain deficiency within our mind or our thoughts or our life, we can go ahead and impress our mind with what we want that to be. So many clients will come to me because they want to be exercising, but they're not following through. That's something that can so easily be adjusted in a trance state of mind. And repetition is key. That's why I give it all away for free on the podcast, because as powerful as a one-to-one session is, and they are powerful because you can impress your mind so powerfully in just one moment. Like change does not have to take a long time. If you think about how long it takes to get traumatized, it happens instantly, right? And that's impressive. That's in a way that's hypnosis. That's your mind being impressed because you were in a high emotional state or you were shocked and your attention was narrowed. And that is essentially hypnosis when your attention is so narrowed and then it goes inside and you're able to impress the brilliant unconscious mind with a particular thing. So, in essentially the same way that a person can be affected deeply in a negative way in just an instant, that can also happen in a positive way, right? So, yes, big responsibility using the power of your mind. But think about that poem. Think about how powerful that is. That, in that poem, it's like your subconscious is speaking to you and it's saying, I give you back whatever you feed me. I I show up exactly as you tell me to. And it even goes as far as to say, when you say you're this or that, that's what you become. So, what can you do with your superpower? What can you accomplish with your your brilliant unconscious mind? How much better can you feel? What if you haven't even ever felt your best yet? What if, like, your pinnacle moment is still in the very near future? What if it's today? Right? What if you haven't earned as much money or received as much abundance as is coming to you? Can you believe it? What if your health, what if you have a radical healing? It happens. What if you impress your mind by tuning into people who've had radical healings and you then become that person that has that story that says, I used to have that incurable thing, but I don't have it anymore. I am well. I am whole. This is available to all of us as we impress our minds, as we give ourselves permission to believe that good things are available to us, that healing is available to us, that tranquility and peace is available to us. If you're listening to me and you're in a dark spot, just know the day always comes after the night. The storm always passes, and it always, always does. So if you're not feeling well, believe that it's temporary and give yourself some care and give yourself some rest because all will be well and everything is working out for your highest and best good. And I truly believe that. So, anyway, thank you for tuning in to me today. Again, hypnosis is mind control. It is you controlling your own mind. So, with that,